topic before or not. But if let's say it's new to you, this will be very helpful. But if let's say you are already an existing user of Atmosphere, this is also a very insightful information, hopefully, that will help all of us to not only be more resourceful or also more updated when we share with our prospect and also our customer, because it's very important for us. If let's say we are ABO but we have not used the Atmosphere yet, then it's even more important for us to know all this information, because if you are a user already daily, you at least already know press where or where should you do whenever you replace a filter, or how to open up the unit and so on. Okay, you can at least you can easily answer some of the questions from your customer or that. Okay, but if let's say you are ABO but you have not used the Atmosphere Sky yet or Mini yet, so you might, even some of the simple questions from our customer or our friend, you will feel panic. So that is the important for us to attend all these learning sessions, so that we can exchange information and learn from each other. Okay, so tonight I'll be quite straightforward, straight away share on the Atmosphere. I will not go through all those haze, all those COVID things. Okay, but of course I will still go through briefly on the importance of clean air. But most of the time I will spend on Atmosphere itself, the specification, the functionality, comparison of it, and also how to actually retail it, because how to retail is important, especially this month and next month we have the trade-in program. We really need to grab this opportunity to secure as much as market share that we have around us. So including that people that we have talked to before, people that used to be in our name list, but they have forgotten or no longer have promo, so we don't follow up anymore. So now is the time to take out the name list and also to look back who can actually we contact, and also start this promotion approach. Okay, I will talk more about that in the retail portion. So it's a two-part. The first part is more focused on the product. The second part is how to retail and the information that will help us retail even better when we shared about Atmosphere, Sky, and also Mini. Okay, so without further delay, I'm going to start into some of the brief introduction. First, the importance of clean air. So clean air, we know that even when we are outside is important. Okay, whenever we are surrounded by the haze or surrounded by the very gassy area, we feel uncomfortable. But at home, actually, do you guys know that it's 2 to 10 times even higher the pollution, because due to the confined space, the concentration of the pollutants normally will be higher. So that is the reason why it is 2 to 10 times higher compared to the outdoor level. So previously, when there's a COVID, people used to say, "Oh, just hide at home." But slowly, the proper information shared out is actually not only hide at home, you have to make sure your home also have a good ventilation and a good air treatment system. Okay, so other than that, other than the pollution, I think air filter has become more and more commonly known to a lot of people, because people with a lot of health issue, for example, asthma, skin condition like eczema, they have the fever, which cause some of the fever and also other symptoms. People who always have the more common symptoms like running nose and sneezing whenever they wake up, or they thought that this is actually allergic symptom or is a cold or flu. Okay, but if it's lasting symptoms, right, most of the time is relatable to the environment that we are living in. Okay, so if let's say we didn't cure this root cause, it will be there forever. But if let's say today we know the root cause and we change the air quality in our living space, this could be solved once and for all. Okay, so these are all the reasons. Of course, we also know that pollution can also go to a very extreme extent, especially it can cause cancer and even death. Okay, so when we say about cancer and death, normally it's caused by long-term exposure to all these pollutants, and also to a very deadly chemical, for example, formaldehyde, which is very common in the indoor space. It's being used in a lot of indoor cabinets, furniture, and also toys and so on. Okay, formaldehyde, right? So other than that, things that will actually affect our indoor air quality, including the temperature, that we live in, the humidity, the ventilation, okay, and whether we have a purification process in place. Okay, so other than that, there's still a lot of pollutants will be floating around in our living space. If you are cooking, there will be a CO. Okay, if you have the furniture, you have the painting, all that, they will have a VOC, which is a volatile organic compound. And then you have mold. Doesn't matter whether you always ensure your house is clean, you dry every area, every corner, there will still be a corner whereby it grow up mold. So mold will also float around in the our living space, the spore, all that, okay, and also pollen, and also odor. Okay, maybe your house or your own unit, you don't have a smoker, but I believe a lot of people will experience it before, which is neighbor is a smoker, or upstairs is a smoker, or downstairs is a smoker. You will still smell the smoke because cigarettes particle is very, very small. So that is the reason why it can float so far until next door or few next door also can smell it. Right. So if let's say you don't have smoker, but you have this problem, you need to find a unit that can help to solve it. Okay. So perspiration odor, including urination odor, and so on. Okay. All that can be solved if let's say we have a good unit. Okay. And dust and also dust mite is a common one. Okay. Of course, on top of that, we also worry about bacteria and also viruses, which is everyone's concern now. Okay. So we don't have to purposely emphasize on that because it's already in the mind of all the people, especially parents, all that, they automatic search a lot of information on those things already. So actually in a lot of mommy groups, all that, Atmosphere has been listed as the #1 air filter system. So it's just a matter whether we show this card to people around us or not. If we didn't show this card or use this advantage, then people, they might buy from others only, okay? So indoor air quality dangers inside our home. Just now I have mentioned most of it. So this is just a summary and also more example of it. Okay, so now we go straight into the atmosphere sky. Okay, so when we talk about specification and functionality, I'll go into more detail in each of the layer that we have. So for atmosphere sky, we need to remember is a 3-stage filtration system. Okay, unlike the mini is a 3-in-1, so this is a 3-stage. 3-stage, that means there are three separate filtration system inside. Okay, so the first piece is basically the pre-filter. So pre-filter can help us to reduce large particle, for example, dust, okay, our hair, okay, maybe some fiber from our fabric and so on, and also some fur from our pets, all that. Okay, so all this will be trapped in the first layer, which is the pre-filter. Okay, so how to actually maintain our pre-filter is basically to take it out, and then you can vacuum it and wash it, and then dry it, then you can place it back. Okay, you don't have to repurchase or to maintain it. So you only need efforts, okay, whenever you want to maintain the pre-filter. So when and how often do we maintain the pre-filter is really depending on your usage and also your environment. If let's say your environment is with a lot of dust and also dirty, or you have pets, then probably you need to clean it more oftenly. Okay, you can check it easily by just detaching the cover, or you can just look at the monitoring screen on top. Okay, so you can clean it up whenever you like. Even when you haven't shown the yellow or red light, you can also clean it up, but you can do the resetting by wrong press the screen on the red or orange color, then you will reset. Okay, only the pre-filter you need to reset yourself. Okay, so for second stage, which is the HEPA, is actually the core of this entire filtration system, because this is the one that filters the most smallest pollutants that floating around in our air. Okay, so this is effectively remove 99.99% as small as 0.0024 microns of bacteria and also viruses. So anything that not captured by the pre-filter, basically it will be trapped in the HEPA filter already. Okay, over 340 over pollutant clearly listed in our atmosphere sky brochure and also catalog. So this is in black and white, and that means it's also legally bind anything that we claim. So if it cannot does that job, Amway is subject to be sued. Okay, so there's no other company that actually gives such a clarity on the things that they can filter other than Amway, right? So that's why it's really a premium unit and also the most convincing and also give the user most confidence one. Okay, so if let's say your prospect or your user is really looking for an effective unit, okay, if they really go and compare, then they will come back to our HEPA unit, our Atmosphere Sky. Okay, so the last filtration system is actually our Odor carbon filter. Okay, so this carbon filter, it helps to reduce harmful gases and also chemical contaminant. Okay, so the something in the gas form, for example, the chemical gas and also chemical contaminant like VOC, it will be filtered at this last stage, including just now we mentioned about the odor smell of the sweat, odor smell of urination and so on. It can be filtered by here. Okay, so then the clean air will come up from the back, okay, blowing up. Okay, so this is also the beauty of the design. When the clean air is being blowing upwards, you don't have to worry if you place it near to the wall. Okay, so every design has been carefully crafted, and I will go into more detail on the HEPA and also odor filter with you guys, and also share a few videos with you so that you have more information that will help us to share with people. Okay, so first of all, when we talk about true HEPA, okay, just now I mentioned HEPA, probably some of us will have heard or other brand also using HEPA filter, but basically HEPA, in order to meet the HEPA criteria, is that your filter need to have at least 0.3 micron. Okay, you can already claim yourself as a HEPA. So that is what a lot of the brand and also a lot of HEPA filter in the market did. Okay, that is what they meet. Okay, the minimum criteria. Okay, because they never mention what is the micron that they can filter. Okay, if they didn't mention, most of the time they are default 0.3. Some of the brand, for example, Dyson or that, okay, they will mention 0.1. Okay, then they want to let people know that HEPA is slightly superior than other brand, so they will mention 0.1. Okay, cannot be today if you can do 0.05, you never mention or stay humble, don't let others know, no such thing. If you want to sell good, definitely you let people know one, right? So this is the first thing that we need to be clear and also make ourselves aware. And then this is some of the wording is too wordy here, but I just highlight some of the important points. So I already mentioned the diameter is greater than or equal to 0.3 micron. It already fulfill the standard to be called as HEPA. Okay, so even exceed the standard at 0.0024. For example, our unit is the HEPA that can filter up to 0.0024. Basically, it's already a pharmaceutical grade. For example, in a pharmaceutical factory, they want to process drug, they want to produce medicine. They cannot allow any contaminants or any virus bacteria go into the product before it reach the user, right? Cannot be today you take a pill and then inside the pill already got bacteria or virus. So it's very, very strict up to that level. So our HEPA grade is basically like the pharmaceutical production grade level already. So this is the differences between our HEPA and also the HEPA that we have in most of the brand outside. Okay, so another things that we need to know is our HEPA is not only filtering very small micron 0.0024, but the capacity to filter is also very big. Okay, how to know that is because if our HEPA for Atmosphere Sky being unlocked and also pull aside, it can pull up to 9.6 meter length. Okay, you can do this with other X brand. I believe it's very, very small piece on it. Okay, they can give you a very small piece, which means they can only block, they have limited surface to actually filter the pollutants and also contaminants, even though they are 0.3 micron. But the useful life and also the capacity to filter is actually very low. But for Amway, not only the micron is very small, but the capacity is this big. Okay, it really gives you a very compact, okay, true HEPA, 9.6 meter long. Okay, so this is a short video, 1 minute, that you guys we can watch together.
Atmosphere Sky Lab, Episode 1, HEPA Filter. In atmosphere sky, 9.6 meter of HEPA filter is concentrated in this small space and is designed to filter particles as small as 0.0024 micrometers. Keeping in mind that ultrafine particles are measured starting at 2.5 micrometers, Sky can filter particles up to 1,000 times smaller than what we know as the so-called ultrafine particles. Let me make this easier. If this ball here, which is 2 meters in diameter, is equivalent to 1 ultrafine particle, atmosphere Sky will filter particles the size of a grain of rice, which is 2 millimeters in diameter. Can you see the difference? The HEPA filter in atmosphere Sky, which has become 3 times more precise, will free you from concerns about the smallness of contaminants. Just with quality of air, your life can change. Atmosphere Sky.
Very short and concise comparison for the HEPA. So I think that video just nice to summarize what we have shared earlier. So now we're going to see the next filtration stage, which is the carbon filter. So for the carbon filter, it's also not a normal, not to say normal carbon filter, it's a even extra design carbon filter compared to the brand outside, because also a lot of people will say, oh, other air filter also got the carbon filter one, so it's the same. So we need to know what are the differences. So now I'm going to share this video, also 1 minute only, to know what is the differences that we have in our carbon filter compared to other.
Atmosphere Sky Lab, Episode 2, Odor Filter. The odor filter in atmosphere Sky is made up of activated carbon particles that come from coconut husks. The surface of these activated carbon particles come into contact with various airborne molecules to reduce odor, so the surface area of these activated particles is crucial to Sky's performance. Then, how big is the surface area covered by atmosphere Sky's odor filter? The amount of activated carbon in the filter is approximately 1,315 grams. The surface area of activated carbon per gram is 1,150 square meters, so the total surface area adds up to 1.5 million square meters. In terms of soccer fields measured at 105 by 70 meters, this is equal to the surface area of 205 soccer fields. Odor filter with such an impressive surface area is another secret behind the performance of atmosphere Sky. Just with quality air, your life can change. Atmosphere Sky.
Yeah, so I think that video also summarized very well what is the differences between carbon filter that we have compared to other carbon filter. So not only comparing carbon to carbon, but how this carbon is being designed and what material that they use. So just now, if you look at the video, ours is used from the coconut husk, and at the same time, it's break down into a very small pieces so that the surface is exposed even more. Okay, so for others, if they are using a full block, okay, the efficiency definitely is very, very low compared to the atmosphere Sky carbon filter. Okay, so for our unit one, if you take out and you weight it, is around 1,300 grams, is about 1.3 kg. So it's also a very solid piece of carbon filter. So that carbon filter itself, as per mentioned just now also, the total surface, can you imagine, is a 205 international standard size of a football field. So if let's say you imagine when it is time to change your carbon filter, you have already filled up all this football field with pollutants and also odor, all that. Okay, so you have really fully utilized the capacity and also the surface that it has in the carbon filter to filter this much for ourselves. And if let's say we do not have this unit at home, probably all these pollutants that we have on this football field, 200 over football field, where will it end up with? Okay, probably in our lungs, and then in our liver is the one who keep processing and also detoxing all these chemicals, right? So why do we want to put ourselves into this extra suffer? All right, so these are the differences and we need to know. And on top of the 3-stage of filtration system that we know how actually atmosphere Sky perform better than other brands, we also need to know the very distinguished point, which is we have 4 very reputable certification, third-party certification from the market. So the first one that we must know is actually the UK or British Allergy Foundation seal of approval. So this one, not only we have the seal of approval, and if let's say you go to the website itself, you will be able to see if you filter out all the allergen, we are the only one unit that can filter all the allergen category. Okay, 22 of it, if not mistaken. Okay, so for the AHAM verified is also an association of home appliance and also manufacturer. That means organization that actually verifies all the claim for below, the room size, volume, the CADR for the air filtration unit. So everything that we claim is according to the proper international standard, and it has been verified and certified by this AHAM. Okay, on top of that, Energy Star is actually is recognizing this unit. The electricity used for Atmosphere Sky and also Mini is very, very low, almost negligible for 1 year usage. If not mistaken, it's less than 10 ringgit only per year, the usage of our atmosphere. So other than that is the ECAF, which is the allergy-friendly quality tested. So this indicates that Atmosphere Sky has been scientifically tested by a third-party laboratory to reduce or remove the allergen. So it's not only tested in our own Amway lab, but at the same time, it has been tested in the third-party lab also. So there will be no conflict or so-called that we give a biased result or so on. So this is a very, very powerful certification that we must know, at least these 4 that we can share with people around us whenever they ask about this product info. Because for other products in the market, I don't think they can at the same time have all these 4, and at the same time, they also can have an Allergy UK filter all the category. No such brand yet so far. Okay, so just now I mentioned, it's 25 categories, sorry, it's not 22. So all these 25 category listed in the Allergy UK website, right? If you tick everything, you will only see 2 units left in the product list suggestion, which is Atmosphere Sky and also Atmosphere Mini. Okay, so that is a very powerful assurance to whoever want to make the decision to place the order. That you can also guide your friends or your prospect how to do that search or filtration in the Allergy UK website. So if let's say their family member or themselves really have the this health issue relating to asthma, allergy, allergen, all that, okay, or sensitive to dust, all that, definitely they will trust this unit, okay, because it's approved by this charitable association, okay. So top 3 points to remember. First, we need to know that we have a very strong third-party certification, various agency and also government. Also, it's a mandatory and also voluntary approval for the product safety and also performance. So we also have a 3-stage filtration system, which we have understand just now. But I think for the HEPA and also carbon, I forgot to add up is that once you replace the filter, right, you don't have to long press the top screen as per the pre-filter. Okay, you will automatically detect it's a new filter that you have changed, then you will auto change to green color. Okay, so that's the only thing that I want to add up. So for the AHAM is to prove that our CADR is 300 CFM, and at the same time it can clean up to 465 square feet for Atmosphere Sky. So 465 square feet basically in Malaysia building build out, right, is as good as to filter up a normal living space, even a master bedroom and also some larger room. Okay, so no problem for that. Okay, so now we go to the Atmosphere Mini 3-in-1. So this one will go faster because many of it actually they retain the specification, just that they simplify and they smaller the size, and also the coverage area is smaller, which you will know later on. Okay, so this one is it's not a 3-stage filtration, it's a 3-in-1 filter. Okay, so when we say 3-in-1 filter, you only need to change 1 filter for every change. Okay, so same thing in this 3-in-1 filter, it has a pre-filter also. So same thing, pre-filter will help to capture all the larger particle, for example, dust, hair, pollen, and also fur, okay, hair that will capture, right? And then how do we want to clean? Because earlier, Atmosphere Sky you can take out and then you can vacuum and then you can dry. You can even wash it. Okay, so for Atmosphere Mini is slightly different. You cannot wet it. Okay, so you can only take out. You can vacuum it gently, or you can actually use a soft brush to actually brush off the dust, okay, to do the maintenance, right? So remember not to wet it or actually tear it, right? So the second part, in the middle, is actually the carbon filter. Okay, so this is also a slight difference between the Sky and also Mini. The carbon filter comes first in this 3-in-1. So this carbon filter will does the job to reduce the household odor and also the chemical contaminant. But same thing, they are using the same technology, which is the activated carbon from the coconut husk, and at the same time, it's also being break down into a larger surface. Okay, so for HEPA filter, it can same thing, even though it's mini, but then the micron is the same, 0.0024 micron as well. So you can compare this. I think this is a really powerful advantage, because outside a lot of time when they have a smaller unit just to cater for people who want to go for smaller room, a lot of time the specification has been downgraded as well. But for Atmosphere, even go with the Mini, the specification never downgrade. I mean, the performance is still the same, 0.0024. Effectively remove is the most top priority for Amway. Okay, must remove all the contaminants first, then only we talk about the convenience, right? It's not about the convenience first, then okay, don't remove everything, also doesn't matter. Okay, so I think the prioritization from Amway is the right direction. Okay, so these are the sequence, and then once all these come to the end of the useful life, we have to change the whole thing. Okay, so this is the difference. So also certification, we also have the Allergy UK, just now I mentioned already. Okay, if you go to the website, you filter everything, left with Atmosphere Mini and also Sky. So here you also have this specification, also the AHAM, the claim of the 200 square feet. Okay, so compared to the Sky 465 square feet, this is a 200 square feet. So again, for Malaysia building build up, normally if let's say a normal house or condo, if they have a mid room or small room, those will be the room that's suitable to use this Atmosphere Mini. Okay, but some nowadays, a lot of the condo or apartment, even their master bedroom is not that big anymore. Okay, so they can also consider to use Mini if let's say they really want to go for the smaller unit but high performing unit. So Mini is the good choice for them also, right? So this is the top panel of Mini, which is slightly different from Atmosphere Sky also. So Atmosphere Sky, everything is also showing on the top panel, and is more functionality, of course. So for Mini one, they want to minimize the space, so a lot of the button is being shared. Okay, so you can see, but then the indicator, everything is very clear and easy to understand. So starting from the left, you can see whenever the filter need replacement, there will be an indicator light. Okay, so this is pretty easy. So once you replace it, you will turn to green, right? So after that, the second one is the particles sensor reading indicator. Okay, so whenever it's red, okay, so for Atmosphere Sky, now it will show the bar, right? But for Atmosphere Mini, it will show this color for you to know what is the indicator for the air quality. All right, so on top, you also have the this fan speed, everything, the indicator for the based on the quality, or whether you are putting it at the auto speed. Okay, so for connectivity indicator is the Wi-Fi connection. Okay, and also the Bluetooth. Okay, Bluetooth is whenever you start using it, you connect to your apps, all that. Then once as long as the connection of the internet is there, you will always stay connected with your apps and so on whenever you are. So this is also the things that I will also mention later on. That's another advantage, that we have the apps to control our unit. Okay, so top 3 points to remember for Mini, quite easy actually. It's almost the same like Atmosphere Sky. So remember the third-party certification that we have, because it is a strong point to for us to convince our buyer, because this is something that other brands they don't have, and also the AHAM, the CADR, and also 200 square feet effective and high performing unit. Okay, and 3-in-1 filter is easy maintenance, effective remove 99.99. Okay, didn't compromise the micron, stick with 0.0024. Right, so this is the apps that I mentioned just now. So whenever you purchase, you only need to do it once. Okay, so once you do it, even in the future, you buy a second unit or third unit, you can easily link up the second unit or third unit or even more unit to the same apps. And then in the apps itself, as per the screen showing here now, you can see this person, there's 2 units of Atmosphere Sky at her house. Okay, so same goes to our own unit. You can actually connect to many units of Atmosphere. You can also connect to Mini and so on. So everything you can control, and then you can name it yourself. This is your kids' room, this is your grandpa room, or so on. This is your study room. Okay, so the good thing about this is that compared to the previous generation, we are still using the remote control, but now the remote control is along with us. So it's in your hand as long as the phone is with you. So you can turn the unit on and off while you are on the way home or what. So normally it takes a little while for the air purifier to purify the entire space, right? So if let's say you're a person who very you need everything to be clean once you reach or step in your home, then you can actually turn it on when you are on the way home, right? Then you can change the fan speed mode, everything in the apps itself. You can also see your air quality at home, right? It's like it's like a spy unit at home, but this is for your own personal purpose, right? You can spy and see what is your current air condition at home, right? So there's also a filter live tracking. So this is the filter live tracking is based on your usage and also your surrounding, whether there's a lot of contaminant or not. So it's based on usage and also the surrounding pollutant, whether severe or not, right? Unlike a lot of the brand, if you try to look at yourself, they always tell you, every 2 months or every 6 months, they will come and service. But if let's say during that 6 months you never used before, do they come service also? The answer is yes. So do you want this kind of service or this kind of filter change? Of course, during the contract period, never mind because they never charge us. But what if after the contract period? So as a wise and intelligent user, please ask ourselves first before we make this decision. So we want a product that really we pay for the usage and not for based on the timetable, right? Okay, so the device status is also telling us to monitor and also multiple unit at home. This already mentioned just now. Okay, so before I go further,